Well, hello there. Welcome to another episode of Useless Information. I'm your host, Michelle Carey, here to share tales you never knew you thought you needed. Today we dive into something chilling that has intrigued many over the years, the mysterious disappearances in the wilderness. So without further ado, let's step into the wilderness of the unknown. But before we do, let's get a word from our sponsor.
Are you a book lover searching for your next captivating read? Look no further than Something Borrowed. Enter a world of love and longing where Mickey Monroe stumbles upon the mysterious creature known as Lucky. From the moment they lock eyes, Mickey knows there's something different about this charming fellow. But alas, fate has other plans for Mickey's blossoming attraction towards Lucky as her employee already takes him, the lovely Laura Moore. As a new player enters the game, the delectable Beth, Mickey finds herself entangled in a web of desire and passion where Lucky is the prize that everyone wants. Follow the twists and turns of Lucky's enthralling journey in Something Borrowed, a tantalizing romantic tale that will have you on the edge of your seat. Will Lucky choose Laura, the devoted girlfriend? Or perhaps Mickey, the alluring newcomer? Or maybe, just maybe, the fiery Beth will win his heart. Meet Luke Lucky Varino, who's caught between his ex with a vengeance, the loving but clueless Laura, and the alluring newcomer who is shaking things up. Don't miss out on this captivating love story that will leave you breathless. Will Lucky's luck run out, or will he find a way to navigate this tangled web of romance? Find out in Something Borrowed. So grab a glass of wine, cozy up with a blanket, and prepare to be swept away by the irresistible charm of Lucky and his tumultuous love triangle. Something Borrowed will have you on the edge of your seat as the mystery of Luke Lucky Varino is uncovered. Order at Amazon, Apple Books, Barnes & Noble, Google Play Books, and Kobo. Find out more at www.michellescarey.com. Sunray Multimedia sponsored this ad.
Our first story involves Geraldine Largay, known as Jerry to her friends, an experienced hiker. And in 2013, Jerry embarked on the Appalachian Trail. She was supposed to meet her husband at a predetermined stop, but Jerry never showed up. Despite extensive search efforts, she wasn't found until 2015, only 2 miles from the trail. Jerry, brimming with anticipation, decided to tackle the Appalachian Trail, a gargantuan feat even for the most seasoned explorers. This mammoth hiking trail stretches 2,190 miles across 14 states from Georgia to Maine. It's known for its picturesque vistas, diverse wildlife, and challenging terrain. Jerry wasn't alone. She started the journey with a friend, but due to a family emergency, her friend had to bow out mid-trip, leaving Jerry to complete the trek solo. On July 22nd, 2013, she set out from a location in Maine, aiming to reach Route 27, where her husband was waiting. They had been keeping in touch through text messages. He expected her to show up the next day, but Jerry never did. Despite their best efforts, neither her husband nor authorities could locate her. In the aftermath of her disappearance, a massive multi-agency search effort was launched, covering several thousand acres of thick forest terrain. Despite the relentless search, the dense and unforgiving forest seemed to have swallowed Jerry without a trace. Fast forward to October 2015, over 2 years since she vanished. A surveyor found her campsite in Reddington Township, just about 2 miles from the trail. There, they found Jerry's remains and a heartbreaking journal that provided a glimpse into her final days. She wrote in one of her entries, "When you find my body, please call my husband and daughter." The gut-wrenching plea highlighted the terrifying reality of her situation. Investigators believe that Jerry had left the trail for a bathroom break, but was unable to find her way back. A simple yet tragically fatal mistake. One of the most haunting aspects of this case is that Jerry survived for nearly a month in the wilderness. Her entries show a tenacity and a will to survive, even in the face of overwhelming odds. She attempted to start fires to signal for help, and she tried to move to higher ground to get a better reception on her cell phone, but her efforts proved in vain. The mystery around Geraldine Largay's disappearance has spawned discussions about the need for better GPS technology and safety precautions for hikers. Her tale serves as a potent reminder of the unforgiving might of the wilderness. It underscores the importance of understanding that no matter how experienced we might be, we're always at the mercy of nature's unpredictable whim. Our journey now leads us from the Appalachians' dense forest to the Colorado Mountains' rocky crags. Here we discover the puzzling tale of Keith Reinhard, a man whose disappearance was filled with so much speculation speculation and intrigue. Keith was a Colorado journalist turned antique shop owner who mysteriously vanished after closing his shop one day to climb the mountain. Bizarrely, Keith was researching a local man, Tom Young, who had vanished 1 year prior in the same area. Keith, originally from Illinois, was a seasoned journalist who decided to take a sabbatical from his regular life. At 49, he relocated to the mountain town of Silver Plume, Colorado in 1988. He developed a newfound interest in the antique business and hoped the change of pace would alleviate some of the stress he'd been feeling. One interesting aspect of Keith's time in Silver Plume was his fascination with the disappearance of Tom Young, a local who'd vanished a year earlier, who also owned an antique shop, had gone for a walk with his dog one day, and was never seen again. Keith became so engrossed in Tom's story that he began writing a novel based on it. But on August 7th, 1988, Keith closed his shop early, telling his friends he intended to climb the local Pendleton Mountain, a trek planned for some time. He was woefully unprepared for such an ambitious hike, wearing only light clothing and street shoes, and with nightfall quickly approaching. After Keith left that afternoon, he was never seen or heard from again, despite one of the most extensive searches and rescue operations in Colorado history. No trace of Keith was ever found. The only remnant left behind was a cryptic message he written on his shop's window: "I will be back." Even more eerily, just 1 week before Keith's disappearance, the remains of Tom Young, the man he had been so obsessed with, were discovered. Young had committed suicide, leaving people to speculate that the uncanny timing and connection between the two cases. Theories about Keith's fate are numerous. Some suggest he might have staged his disappearance to start a new life, while others think he might met the same fate as Tom Young. But more intriguing, theories hint at secret tunnels and caverns in the mountains, suggesting Keith might have stumbled upon something he wasn't supposed to see. Despite these theories, no definitive answers about Keith's fate have surfaced. The mystery remains as deep and impenetrable as the wilderness he ventured into. His disappearance and Geraldine Largay's serve as a chilling testament to the wild's awe-inspiring yet often terrifying power. Our final story transports us away from the frosty crags of Colorado to the humid depths of the Central American rainforest. We're about to step into the disconcerting mystery surrounding the fate of Kris and Lisanne Froon, two young Dutch students whose adventurous spirit led them to the dense jungles of Panama in 2014. Kris and Lisanne had been planning this trip for quite a while. Their dream adventure was 6 months in Panama to learn Spanish, help local children, and experience a new culture. 2 weeks before their journey, they set off on a day hike near a popular path leading to a panoramic view. They were excited about their adventure, as evidenced by a picture they uploaded to Facebook announcing their plans. However, alarm bells started ringing when the girls didn't return to their host family. Their disappearance began an extensive yet painfully fruitless search operation encompassing local authorities, volunteers, and even Dutch detectives. In the months that follow, only fragments of their belongings were found. A local woman discovered their backpack containing 2 bras, 2 cell phones, a water bottle, and a camera near a riverbank about 8 kilometers from where they began their hike. The phone showed that they had tried calling emergency services multiple times on the day of their hike and the following days. However, these calls didn't go through due to the lack of reception in the jungle, painting a chilling picture of the girls' desperation. Then came the camera, the most disturbing piece of evidence. The first pictures were normal, showing the girls smiling, seemingly enjoying their hike. But then there was a series of strange, most frantic photos taken in the dead of the night, 7 days after they'd gone missing. One disturbing image was of a makeshift marker made of twigs and plastic bags. Later, bone fragments and a boot containing a foot were found, horrifyingly confirmed the girls' deaths. It's widely speculated that they may have gotten lost or injured, leading to a tragic end. However, the absence of more substantial remains and the perplexing photographs had led to numerous theories ranging from foul play to deadly encounters with wildlife. These ladies stand as a tragic testament to how quickly a dream adventure can turn into a nightmare. It also underscores the importance of taking adequate safety measures when venturing into unknown territory, no matter how seasoned or adventurous we may be. As we've journeyed through these stories today, from Geraldine Largay's solitary ordeal on the Appalachian Trail to Keith's disappearance in the Colorado mountains, and to Kris and Lisanne tragic end in the Panamanian rainforest. These wilderness disappearances serve as a chilling reminder of the power and unpredictability of nature. It's a realm that captivates us with its beauty and vastness, yet reminds us how quickly we can become lost in its depths. We've been reminded that the allure of the wild often comes hand in hand with the potential for danger. It's a dance with nature that can sometimes take a devastating turn. Their experiences serve as a poignant reminder of this. Their stories do not serve to frighten us from embracing the wilderness, but to teach us and give it the respect it deserves. Each time we step into the great outdoors, we venture into a world that operates on its own terms, where we're merely visitors. In honoring their memories, we must acknowledge the lessons their experience impart. When we equipped ourselves with knowledge, respect, and the necessary precautions, we reduce our chances of repeating such tragedies. We remember that safety should always take precedence, even in our own quest for adventure. The Wilds is an open book with countless stories, some of the thrill, excitement, and caution and warning. In their wake, we are left with the amplified reverence for the natural world and its beauty and formidable powers. But as we close this episode, remember these tales of mystery and survival are not meant to deter us from seeking our adventures. Instead, they remind us of the thin line between exploration and peril. In understanding their narratives, we understand the wild a little more. Its enthralling allure, unsolved mysteries, and ruthless impartial might. If only the Apple Watch Ultra had been around during that time, it could have saved their lives. And that's all for this episode of Useless Information. We've journeyed through the wild, unraveling tales of the lost. I'm Michelle Carey, reminding you that sometimes the most useless information can lead to the most profound realizations. If you like what you're hearing in the Useless Information podcast, please take the time to hit that follow or subscribe button so you're kept up to date when another episode goes live. And if you like what you're hearing, do me a big favor and leave a review if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or whatever major podcast platform you're on. And if you're listening to this on YouTube or Rundle, please like and subscribe. Your follow, your subscription, and or review lets the podcast guys know, hell yeah, I'm picking up what Michelle is putting down. And I've also expanded the podcast to Twitter. You can find me on Twitter at Michelle S. Carey. Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining me on this journey. And I'll see you next time for a more fascinating and seamlessly useless piece of information. But as always, I'm grateful for your listenership, and I thank you for being a part of the Useless Information crew. Today and always, until next time, be well, stay safe, and give love.
This podcast has been produced by Sunray Multimedia and Michelle Carey. Music by CreatorMix.com. The YouTube audio library and editing by Descript.